Let me test you straight. What is correct? He suggested going to restaurant or he suggested to go to restaurant? The first one. Next, I enjoy working out or I enjoy to work out? The first one. But why? Stay with me and I'll tell you why. Hello everyone, welcome to Multilingual. Today we're looking at some common verbs patterns, verb plus gerund or verb with ing. And I've collected 12 most common verbs for you that always go with a gerund. They are always followed by this verb with ing. Let's dive in. These verbs are imagine, admit, deny, mind, regret, recall, risk, keep, consider, suggest, enjoy, and avoid. Can you imagine living without the internet? Maybe, but I can't imagine using the verb imagine without ing. And honestly, I can't imagine living without the internet. So if we want to use the verb imagine, we have to add a gerund to it. I can't imagine living. I can't imagine working without a computer or even managing my work without a smartphone. I can't imagine doing this. Another question for you. Can you imagine living in another country? I definitely can. I can imagine living in Spain one day. It's one of my favorite countries in the world. I'd like to know more about you. What country can you imagine living in? Let me know in the comments. To admit and to deny. To admit means to agree that you have done something wrong, and to deny means to disagree with that. So they are opposites. That's why I've decided to put these verbs together. Here are Jack and Lucy, and they're siblings. One of them has eaten all the chocolates. Lucy admits eating just 2 chocolates, whereas Jack denies having a single one. They have also broken Mom's favorite vase. Jack denies breaking the vase. Lucy admits playing with it, but she completely denies breaking it. Who has broken the vase? What do you think? I'll tell you the right answer at the end of this video. But now have a look at the verbs. Admit and deny are always followed by a gerund. Admit and deny doing something. Let's move on to the next one. Do you mind working on the weekend? Our next verb is to mind doing something and is usually used in questions or in negative statements. If I ask you, do you mind working on the weekend? What does it mean? Does it mean, do you like working on the weekend, or is it okay for you to work on the weekend? The second one, right? If I ask you, do you mind, means, is that okay for you to work on the weekends? I can say, not at all. I don't mind working on weekends as long as I get paid more. The next verb is to regret. To regret means to feel sorry that you did something. For example, I regret buying this jacket. I never wear it, actually. We regret moving house. Our new neighbors are so annoying. I regret eating so much at dinner. Now I feel sick to my stomach. This is our next verb, to recall doing something. Do you know what is to recall? That to remember what you did in the past. Let's imagine you meet someone at your friend's party and you may say this phrase. I can't recall meeting you earlier. Are you Sarah's new friend? Or the police can ask you questions about the robbery in the neighborhood. And they will ask you, Can you recall seeing someone suspicious recently? Our next verb is to risk doing something. Of course, you can say that you risk something, like, I can't risk it. It's really important to me. But you can also use this verb with a gerund afterwards. For example, you have an important exam and you say, I can't risk failing the exam. This exam is really important to me. I have to, what is the opposite of fail? To pass it, right? I can't risk failing this exam. I have to pass it, whatever it takes. This is used quite a lot. Keep doing something or keep on doing something as a phrasal verb. You can use it both ways. It means that you continue doing something without stopping, or you do it repeatedly. For example, my parents keep helping me financially. No, this example sentence is not about me. My parents don't keep helping me financially. She keeps talking even if no one is listening. Things can't keep going like this. We have to change something. They can't keep going like this. Even if you make mistakes in an exam, keep talking. The next verb is to consider doing something. To think whether to do something or not. To consider. Have you ever considered learning English in England or in the US? I considered traveling to an English-speaking country, but then the pandemic hit. We are considering moving house. I considered applying to university after school, but then I found a job. Have you ever considered moving to another country for good? For good means forever. Remember the first task I gave you at the beginning of this video? That was the verb suggest. Suggest doing something. Probably one of the most useful verbs that is often used with an infinitive, which is incorrect. You can say, I suggest doing, or I suggest that we do, but not I suggest to do. I suggest meeting up at 5. I wanted to take the highway, but my sat-nav suggested driving through the city. Suggest that is also possible. I suggest we wait a while before we make any decisions. There is no real proof, but the evidence suggests that he is guilty. I suggest that you leave a comment and put down your own example for you to practice. Let's do this, and let's move on to the next one. I'm sure you used this verb correctly. Enjoy doing something. The same is with love and like, and the opposites. Hate and can't stand. They are all followed by a gerund. Tell me, do you enjoy working from home? I personally love it. I enjoy working from home. You know, with a cup of tea and in comfy slippers. What do you enjoy and don't enjoy doing? To avoid something. The final verb for today is to avoid doing something. Our downtown is so crowded on Saturdays, so I try to avoid going shopping. If you want to lose weight, avoid eating sugar and white bread. My colleague and I have had a row recently. Now he avoids talking to me. I avoid buying groceries wrapped in plastic. I think it's harmful for the environment. And what about you? What do you avoid doing? Let me know. Those were 12 or even more helpful verbs that are always followed by a gerund. We're almost done, but what about our siblings I mentioned with the verbs admit and deny? Remember? Who has broken the vase? Neither Jack nor Lucy. It was their cat, Jimmy. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I also hope to see you in my next one. Bye guys.